Hail to the Redskins. What's up? This is JD coming at you with Redskins Rant, and I am going to go on a quick little tirade because someone put a comment on my video that was posted not even like 6 hours ago. And I don't know why people decide to write me a fucking book, but they do, and they can't just put one message in there or anything like that, so I'm going to have to comment to all this fucking shit, okay? So I'm going to read to you part by part what he says. I'm going to comment to part by part. Another Kirk rant, LOL. Kirk may not be 100 for 100 with 1,000 yards every game, which I never expected that from him. I just expect him to hit guys that are open and not always go to a check down and be a little less conservative. That's my biggest issue with Kirk. My biggest issue with Kirk, he's not a leader. And what I mean by that is he doesn't seem to galvanize the troops when we're down. He doesn't seem to, whenever we got a lead, like, guys, let's go. Let's put our foot on their throats. He doesn't seem to do those things. That's what a leader does. Okay? So those are things that Kirk doesn't do. He doesn't change the plays whenever he sees a blitz. He doesn't change Kirk check down. He doesn't do hot routes. Those are things that a quarterback does and Kirk doesn't do. Those are my issues with Kirk Cousins, okay? And for the last fucking time, and I'm tired of fucking saying this, I have no issue with Kirk as our starter. I have an issue is he does well, and everyone's like, oh, he's doing good enough. He's doing good enough. So everyone's fucking happy about that. That's not enough. He could be better. He could be doing so much better. He should be blowing the league away in yards, blowing the league away in completions. Maybe not touchdowns, okay? Kirk just doesn't seem to find them in the tight windows whenever we get in the red zone. But he should be blowing the league away in yards and completion percentage by far right now, and he's not. And I'm tired of all these narratives. I'm going to get back to this now. Rather you admit it or not, well, don't you mean whether I admit it or not? Learn to spell. Learn some grammar, okay? But he's our best option at quarterback in years. No, and I've proven this. Go read the fucking article. This guy's too fucking lazy to go read the article. Okay? Go read the article. The article that I have, it's USA Today, proves that Kirk is a product of what is around him. Okay? He's a tier 3 quarterback with tier 2 talent around him. Okay? So you don't have to believe me, but go read it. Why do the experts agree with me, and none of the experts agree with any of you fucks who think that Kirk Cousins is all great and powerful? Why is that? Why do all the experts, Chris Cooley, USA Today, NFL Network, why do they all agree with me, but none of them agree with you guys? You emotional people who have no statistics to back up anything you say. Please answer that for me. I want one person to answer that without saying, well, those guys don't know what they're talking about. No, give me something that says there's a bias against them, against Kirk Cousins. There's not. What do they have to gain out of that? Washington is a big market. When Kirk Cousins there, he creates a stir. Okay? God, it's so freaking retarded that people can't just understand that there are experts out here who agree with me, and all I'm doing is using their messages, their comments, or whatever you want to call it, their words to reinforce my opinion. That's all I'm trying to do. You have nothing. Whoever this guy, I'm not even going to say his name. He doesn't deserve to have his name said on my podcast. You have nothing to back it up. Nothing to back up your opinion. Other than your stupid emotions and whatever you want to call it. And for God's sakes, I've been a Redskins fan. Let's see if I can find my goddamn... I've been a Redskins fan since this. You can't read it, but it's the 1972 Redskins Conference Championship, dedicated to the Special Olympic athletes, special children showing us when the humans... My daughter gave this to me when I was 5 years old. 5 years old I was given this. I have other stuff scattered around my apartment that is Redskin based. I'm tired of my fucking fanhood being questioned because I don't agree with a bunch of little pussies who are emotional about, oh, we have a quarterback and he's okay. No, we have a lot of talent around him. It's not good enough for him. It's not good enough that he's not good enough for them. He fails them on a constant basis, throwing short of first downs, not doing a hot read, taking a sack instead of getting rid of the football. There's a lot of things he does that he could do better. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm going to go through the rest of this because I'm getting emotional. I hate when people just say something happened without appreciating the little things that matter. Like you guys... You don't appreciate the fact that if Kirk throws 900 passing yards, he had to throw them to receivers and they had to catch the ball and then run? That's the fucking dumbest shit I've ever heard. Give me something that backs up your opinion. Give me something that backs it up. God, it's all I'm trying to say. Guys, I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's just, I'm tired of, I'm not going to comment to anyone else after this, unless it's an intelligent comment. This guy's just trying to troll me. So I'm replying to it so that everyone can hear how I'm going to deal with trolls from now on. Okay? You don't just throw a screen and get automatic yards. If Kirk stats are padded, then no quarterback can get credit for screens. That's stupid because Kirk throws more screens than any other quarterback. He throws more checkdowns than any other quarterback. I'm not saying the stats shouldn't be padded with that. I'm just saying you need to realize that it's not Kirk throwing for every one of those freaking yards. He throws to people when they run. That's a big bulk of his yards. Okay, 1,900 yards is accredited to, let's say last year, more than 40% of his yards were yak yards. 40% of his yards were yak yards. Okay, but you won't back, why don't you give it a stat or something to prove what you're saying? It's just, it's emotion. That's all it is. If Kirk's stats are padded, whatever, I just read that. Since Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers throw themselves apparently, and Kirk is the only quarterback with wide receivers. No, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers throw people open. They read defenses. They throw to guys whenever there's double coverage here and you have a guy alone on the outside. They throw a deep ball and they actually hit the deep ball. They do a lot of things that a quarterback should do. Kirk Cousins is capable of making every throw, but he doesn't. Because either A, if he throws it deep, he'll overthrow it because he's not an accurate deep ball thrower. Okay. This year, last year apparently he did well last year. This year he's not. Okay, he's not a good deep ball thrower. 5 of 22, 22.7%. Look it up. Okay, but Kirk is afraid to throw into tight windows. Jay Gruden has said that. He's afraid to throw the ball unless it's a perfect throw, which means he's conservative, which is my issue. He's too conservative. Guys are, and it also proves that guys are open, which debunks any of these Kirk fans saying, oh, his receivers can't get open and his receivers can't catch. Well, they caught enough for 1,900 yards. They are open enough to get 1,900 yards. And they're open enough, but Kirk won't throw them. His own coach said it. His own coach said it. What was another comment? Kirk is, well, hold on, give me 1 second. Ridiculous videos. He's complaining that my video is called Redskins Rant. It's called Redskins Rant because the first video was a rant about Kirk Cousins. It was about Kirk Cousins against the Eagles and how he fucking sucked and lost us the goddamn game. So that's why it's called Redskin Rant. I just ran with the name. Okay? I don't rant about Kirk every week. Against the Raiders, I didn't have a bad thing to say about Kirk. Against the Rams, I didn't say a lot of nice things because he didn't play great against the Rams. He just played good enough not to screw up. Okay? So that he's wrong. This guy's wrong on so many levels, but I'm going to keep going with this. He also says that Kirk is he's proven that he's a winning quarterback. He's not proven a damn thing. Kirk has not proven he's a winning quarterback. He is 22 and 26 and 1 in all of his starts. That is a losing record. Go look it up. That's his losing record. Playoffs included. Losing record. That's what Kirk has done. Okay? He's only beaten 3 over 500 teams his entire career. 3. Seriously, I don't understand how people cannot fucking grasp this concept that all you have to do is go look stuff up before you shoot your fucking mouth off. Seriously, I don't understand that. Oh, we got 3 linemen out there, and it's all Kirk still. LOL. I guess Kirk blocks for himself too. No, Kirk does not block for himself. You dumb fuck. Quit being condescending. You're being condescending. Now you're just trying to be obnoxious. We lost 2 Pro Bowl linemen, and it just means nothing because it's Kirk Cousins' fault. It is Kirk Cousins' fault because the offensive line was not the reason we lost the game. If Kirk got sacked 8 times, yeah, I'll give you credit. That was Kirk Cousins' fault. Good. You're going to sit there and honestly tell me that the Dallas game, we lost because of the offensive line. If you say that, you don't know football. You don't. I've conceded that the receivers didn't catch a lot of balls. But I've also said they didn't catch a lot of balls in the second half. In the first half, they were fine because it wasn't raining. Okay? And I've also said that out of our first 4 possessions, we had a potential for 4 touchdowns. And we come away with 13 points. What if we score 28 points there? That is my issue with Kirk. He's so conservative that he cost us points. We left 15 points on the field. We left 15 points on the field. That is my issue with Kirk Cousins. We need to get those footballs in the end zone. The only touchdowns we scored. We scored a rushing touchdown in the first quarter, and we scored a touchdown late in garbage time whenever the defense was just so far back we had all the time in the world to throw the football. And we got lucky on that one. And I've gone through that in my video. I'm not going to go through it again, but we got lucky on that. So I don't understand what you're saying. Kirk Cousins dropped back 44 fucking times. He ran once and got 0 yards, and he was sacked 4 times. 3 of them were his fault. Go count them. He had 4 fucking seconds or more to get rid of that ball. And after 4 seconds, he tried to run for 1, and he got sacked. And that actually cost he put our kicker in a bad spot. He had to kick it from the right side hash to try to kick the field goal, and that's the one that got blocked. So in my opinion, that was a turning point in the game. Okay, he had 2 others were just the same thing. We had plenty of time to get rid of the football, but he didn't. Okay, and only one I will credit to them, and then he had a forced fumble. Okay, how do you ignore that stuff? The people don't just act like that stuff just doesn't matter. It matters. Especially when the offense gave up 13 points on their own in turnovers. But anyway. Okay, Kirk is the best quarterback we've had since I've been a fan. No, I don't know how long you've been a fan. He says over the last 20 years. Kirk Cousins, he might be close to being the best quarterback, but he also has the best talent around him, which is why I expect more from him. Okay, you don't have 2 elite. He has 2 elite tight ends. He has 2 really good receivers in Crowder and Grant. Which when he finds them, they're open. They're open all the time. And Jay Gruden proves this. This is what is pissing me off. You just ignore the fact that Jay Gruden says there are guys open, but Kirk won't throw it to him unless it's the perfect situation for him. He literally says this, and you're fucking ignoring it. That's how stupid you are. That's how stupid a lot of these fans are. Seriously, I'm not trying to insult people, but how do you just ignore what his own coach says about him? How do you ignore what experts on NFL.com say? Chris Cooley says it. NFL.com says it. USA Today says it. Jay Gruden says it. But you ignore that because Kirk Cousins is our quarterback. He's the best we've had in years. So that means you should demand more from him because he is the best we've had. He should have the highest expectations. That is the difference between you and I. You have low expectations for your quarterback. I have high expectations for your quarterback. If Kirk Cousins does everything he can possibly do for us to win, which he doesn't, and if you do, come here and sit. I'll give you some fucking popcorn. We'll put a game film on, and I'll show you all the mistakes he makes and how much better he could be. Okay, I watched the game film 3 times. You watched it on TV once. You follow the football around like a good little puppy, a good little sheeple, and think you know anything about football. Next comment. Don't come on here talking about. First of all, don't fucking tell me what to do. This is my page. You don't have to follow it. Okay? You don't have to follow it. This is my page. You can follow it if you want, or you can get the fuck off. I don't care. This is my page. If you don't want to hear me rant about the Redskins and Kirk Cousins is a part of the Redskins, fuck off. I don't want to hear your bitching and complaining because this is my channel. I'll say whatever the hell I want to say. And if you don't like it, you don't have the unsubscribe button's right there. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Seriously. You don't have to watch my videos. You aren't allowed to be happy. If Kirk wins a Super Bowl, first off, Kirk isn't going to win us a Super Bowl. We will win a Super Bowl with Kirk. We will not win a Super Bowl because of Kirk. Okay, second, I don't see us winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. And I can be a fan of whatever I want. I'll be happy about whatever I want. Because if we made first off, we've already made changes that I have suggested from day one that have made us better throughout the course of the season. We adapted a quicker passing or a shorter passing game, a faster passing game, getting the ball out quick, not throwing as many deep balls. When we do those things, we win games. Every one of our scoring drives, every single one of them, you can say whatever the fuck you want, go look at the goddamn numbers. Every one of our scoring drives have 2 things in common. Well, I mean, the running game, sometimes it's hit or miss, but we throw short passes, we catch and run. Short passes, get rid of the ball quick, catch and run. Those are the type of plays that we run that make us successful. When we try to go for our deep balls, doesn't make us successful. We're 5 of 22 on that. It's 17 plays wasted. You might as well just hike it and take a knee. Or hike it and just spike it. 17 plays wasted. Okay? So it's not as... I'm really tired of my fandom being questioned, and no one's going to tell me what the fuck to do with my own channel. So, and this will probably be flagged by YouTube, so I don't really care. When Kirk wins the Super Bowl, I'll be happy when the Redskins win a Super Bowl, and we'll have nothing to do with Kirk. And Kirk's not going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to leave after this year. He's going to leave. He's going to go somewhere else. The Jets are going to pay him max money, and we're not going to want to pay him. And I have no issue paying. I have no issue. And if you watch my videos, you know my opinion, but you don't apparently. You just think you do. You watch one video, and then you watch this one, and you think you know my opinion. I don't mind Kirk being a fantastic quarterback. Pay him $20 million a year. He's not worth more than that. Because if you pay more than $20 million a year, you got to cut into the offensive line, you got to cut into the receivers, you got to cut into our defense. Our defense is actually pretty stout this year. Although you and your Kirk fans blame the defense for all of our losses, even though the offense is giving them points. Somehow that's the defense's fault. Okay, so if every fan will like you, I'm sure players would hate playing for our entertainment when nothing will ever be good enough. You know what? I have no issue with any other player on the team, so I don't know where that comes from. I get on team when they lose. I gave credit for Kirk when he did well. I don't understand where that comes from, but Kirk has not played well the last few weeks. Yeah, he threw 30 for 40 against the Eagles. That doesn't mean anything. 30 for 40. He could be 35 for 40. Like, seriously, how do you not... I don't know how you... I used to be an athlete. Half the people who comment on this are probably not athletes. Just casual fans who watch football who happen to just be Redskins fans. As an athlete, here's what you do to yourself. Here's what you're supposed to do. Not every athlete does this, because every athlete just does it does sports because they have talent and it's the best means for them to make a living. This is what an athlete does. After a game, they review where they screwed up. That's what I do. I did that. Everyone's supposed to do that, especially a quarterback. Supposed to review where they screwed up. Now, I have the opinion that Kirk doesn't do that, and when he does do that, he gives the excuse, "Well, I didn't throw to this receiver because I didn't think he was open, not to my liking." Stuff like that. It's a cop out. But that's what a professional athlete does, and I view that like an athlete. I view that's why okay, what could Kirk have done better here? Okay, obviously he can do a lot worse, but what could he have done better? Okay, he missed this throw. What if he gets that throw? We can sustain a drive. We possibly get another field goal or touchdown. What if he hits this throw? What if he hits Terrell Pryor in our second possession? Or third possession? What if he hits Terrell Pryor? Doesn't throw it over his head? What if he hits him right in the numbers? We sustain a drive. We could get a touchdown right there. Now, instead of being up 13-0, we're up 17-0. Or 17-3. Okay? It's completely different whenever... You're looking at it as what it is. I'm looking at it what it can be. Okay? That's the difference between you and I. You look at what it is and think, well, those numbers are pretty good, so obviously it's not Kirk Cousins' fault. No, those numbers could be better, and it's Kirk Cousins' fault why they aren't better. It's not everyone else's around him's fault. Okay? This week is the one week where anyone who has an argument against me can talk, because the wide receivers were not great this week. I cannot concede. I'm conceding that. The wide receivers sucked dick this week. Okay? But they sucked dick in the second half. In the first half, you had 4 opportunities in your first 4 possessions to score touchdowns, and you came away with 13 points. That's my issue. You had an opportunity to put your foot on their throat and really, really get a big lead on the Dallas Cowboys. Then, that's when, if Kirk does that, where he gets those 4 touchdowns, then I'll be happy. Then we can start talking about, okay, Kirk is the best quarterback, because he's put in situations where he needs to succeed, and he's doing that. Not just putting in situations where he needs to succeed, and he's doing the bare minimum to look good. He's doing enough to look good. That's what he's doing. Okay? Let's see what else he says here. Entertainment. Well, no, you don't appreciate Kirk's ability. No, I do. I expect more from Kirk. That's the constant theme, and you just ignore that, so I'm not going to comment on it anymore. Now keeping us in games, but he doesn't keep us in games. He prevents us from winning games by a large margin. Okay, he has opportunities to really step on teams' throats and really win a game by a gaping margin, but he doesn't. He keeps the game close, and then that actually has a residual effect on the defense. But I'm not going to get into that, because I'm not getting into that. You don't deserve that. Okay, when you realize that Kirk, what a real bad QB is like. You can say what you want, dude. I know what a bad QB is like. Also know what it's like to have really bad weapons around a QB. Look at what I'm not getting into the names. We've had quarterbacks that have been pretty decent on this team, and they have not had good weapons. They have not had good weapons whatsoever. We haven't had an elite tight end since Chris Cooley. Fred Davis was kind of good, but he couldn't stay healthy, and he couldn't stay off drugs. Okay, so We haven't really had elite talent other than maybe an elite running game. I'll give you that. Maybe an elite running game. However, our running game had over 100 yards rushing last year, and they're averaging over 100 yards this year. So your argument, I don't think we have a franchise running back. That's my personal opinion. And that's not really, I mean, it's not Kirk's fault, but it's not the Redskins. It's the Redskins' fault. Mac Brown, I thought, was the best running back we had, and we let him go. Well, actually, Chris Thompson's the best running back we had. He's just 175 pounds, 180 pounds, and you can't run him every down. He's going to get injured. Let's see here. It's hating on Kirk is your idea of videos and what you're passionate about. I try to support all the Redskin communities, but it's the same exact thing every week. I can actually predict what you're going to say, and that's not good. You know what? If you can accurately predict what I'm going to say, then how can you first off, if you can do that, then you know my opinion, and you know all the statistics I'm going to say. I'm sorry. Okay. The Kirk fans have it both ways. They want to have the luxury of being able to blame everyone else for their problems, but no one else is allowed to have that luxury. For example, if the defense against the Eagles was missing 4 starters and 4 backups, yet they're the reason we lost the game. However, the offense is completely intact, 100% healthy, and should have been able to go toe-to-toe with Carson Wentz and beat him. Kirk played like shit in that game, but everyone thinks since he had 3 touchdowns, which he got 2 of them in garbage time, that's something. It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's nothing to me. And everyone's, the passer rating. Passer rating is askew because you can be 10 of 20 going into the fourth quarter being down 30 points, and you can complete 8 passes at a high percentage and get a touchdown. It weighs your pluses over your negatives. The passer rating is a worst thing to ever gauge a quarterback on. QBR is a little bit better because it actually gauges when the game's close, but in this case, it's also not very good because it's not very good to gauge Kurt on that as well. And I'm just tired of my fanhood being questioned because I just want our quarterback to be held to a higher standard. We held quarterbacks to higher standards prior to Kirk Cousins. Now all of a sudden the standard went down here. That's my issue. And okay, and last thing I'm going to say, and I'm tired of saying this. So I'm not saying that. I'm not commenting on anyone else again. I'm not saying anything else again. Unless someone has an intelligent comment, and I'll comment on that, and I'll counter a point where, like one guy said, it's a Freudian slip. Usually, Jamison Crowder has been dropping stuff on punts and kickoffs, and it was Chris Thompson. It's a Freudian slip because Crowder's done it all year. That I will comment on and say thank you. It was a Freudian slip. I appreciate the correction. That's something I'll say. Okay. Why is there so many people that agree with me if I'm so wrong, if I'm so out there and I'm so crazy in my opinion? Why is that? Why is it professionals agree with me? Last thing I'm going to say, okay, reiterate on this. Kirk is 5 of 22 on passes over 20 yards. That go 20 yards through the air. 22.7%. That's 17 plays. You can just basically hike it and take a knee or hike it and spike the ball. Okay? Kirk is not a leader. He's not the leader that we need. He may be a decent leader, but he's not enough of a leader. And the best leaders we have on that team are on the defense. Swearinger and Norman are our 2 leaders. Maybe Kerrigan. Probably throw Kerrigan and Mac Brown in there. Or Zach Brown. I'm sorry, Zach Brown. Kirk, I'm tired of the offensive line argument. He's been sacked 23 times last year. 26 times the year before. That's less than 2 a game. That's how bad our offensive line is. He gets sacked less than 2 times a game. That's how bad our fucking offense is. Okay, offensive line is. This year it's been 16. It's been 16 because he got sacked 4 times against the Eagles, okay, and 3 of those were his fault. He got sacked 4 times against the Eagles last week, and 3 of those were his fault as well. And he got sacked 4 times against the Cowboys, and 3 of those were his fault. And the offensive line made it so the Eagles in game 1 let him throw the ball. He was 25 of 40, I believe, 25 of 40. So you can throw the ball 40 times. He can throw the ball 40 times and get sacked 4 times, and apparently that's not protected. Maybe he's just throwing the ball too much. That's a very high percentage of throws. A high amount of throws. The more you drop back, the more you get sacked. It's just an analogy. It's just complete. Look at any quarterback. The more dropbacks you have, the more likely you are to get sacked. It's that simple. Okay, against the Eagles, he threw the ball 30 for 40 without any duress, and apparently the offensive line can't protect him. If you miss throws, is that the offensive line's fault? I'm just done. I'm just done dealing with people. Luckily, I get like a week or two off to cool down because I'm moving. I'm moving for a job. And this guy will probably never see this video because I think he unsubscribed, which I don't fucking care. I don't care. He has nothing to really back up anything. Nothing to back it up other than I'm offending his butterfly sensitive little opinion. So a sensitive little ego, whatever you want to call it. So my name's JD. This is my video. This is Redskins Rant. I guess comment rant. I don't know. I'm JD. See ya.